Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. I'm Kathy, and today we are going to make a beautiful card, but we're going to let the paper do the majority of the work. This is going to be a really simple card, easy to put together, quick, and I think you're going to love it. So I have my prototype here I want to show you. Isn't that just lovely? And it's so simple because the paper is going to do all the work. We're going to be using the bundle called Sentimental Wishes, and this is such a pretty set. Now, I have colored my little stocking, and I thought that turned out really cute, but that's not what we're using today. We're going to use the candles and the bow and the sentiment. So that's all we're going to be using out of the stamp set. And it is a bundle, so you have dies. And this is a small little die set, but it does everything you need it to do to work perfectly with this stamp set. The paper is called Sentimental Christmas, and the paper is gorgeous. We're going to need a piece of this green stripe, and we are going to need a sheet of, let me show you, the sheet that looks like this. Isn't this gorgeous? And you might wonder, well, how do I work with this? This looks like a piece for scrapbooking. And yes, this is a piece that would be beautiful in a scrapbook. But we're going to cut off the top corner of it. And we're going to use just that area right there. And I'm going to show you how I cut it. I am going to put it in my trimmer with this side to the left and that at the top. And what you do is just decide what area you want for your card. And I want this area right here. And I need this piece to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut it right here at 4. And we'll get this piece off and out of our way. And then we're going to turn it because I want this top section. We're going to turn it and cut it at 5 1/4. Just like that. Now we have what I like to call my focal point for our item. I'm going to bring my other pieces back in and I'm going to show you what else you're going to need. You're going to need a card base, and this is a half a sheet of shaded spruce. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. You're going to need a piece of real red, and this piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then you're going to need this piece that we just cut, that's 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need a strip of this that is, I believe my strip is 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch. 7/8 of an inch by 4. Yeah, by 4. And that we're going to get a strip of that. Then for the inside, you're going to need a piece of Very Vanilla that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need a piece of Very Vanilla to do your stamping on. And that's it. So let's do our stamping first and get that over with. And what we're going to do for stamping, we're going to stamp the candles. We're going to stamp those twice and our little bow once. So I'm going to grab a stamp block. Go ahead and pick up my candles. And I'm going to get another stamp block for my bow. And I'm going to use my memento. And I'm not getting my real juicy one today. I'm going to use this one. It's not quite as juicy. Oh, that ended up pretty juicy right there. Let me get a piece of paper to stamp off because see how that looks? I'm afraid that's going to mess up my cardstock. Yeah, and it would have. So tell you what, let's just wipe this off. I think I'm going to clean it. Just use some plain water on my cloth, and I'm just going to do this. I might need to get my Stampin' Scrub out because it got a little bit too much ink up in there. So I'm going to be a little more gentle this time inking this one. Let's try it and hope for the best. Very good. I'm going to do that one more time. Okay. And then we're going to stamp our bow. Perfect. So now we need to color our stamps, our stamped images, and I'm going to bring out my Stampin' Scrub real quick and just clean off. See how good that cleans your stamps? This is little loops of Velcro that this is made out of, and it really does do a wonderful job cleaning your stamps with just, you can use Stampin' the stamp cleaner on it, or you can use just plain water. So it's totally up to you. I'm going to cut these apart because I want to color them and then I want to die cut them. So I'm going to cut that like that and that like that. And let's go ahead and get these colored. Coloring is very simple. We're going to use an ivory for the candles, and we're going to need real red and shaded spruce. And I used a little bit of dark lemon lolly and a dark calypso coral for my flames. So the first thing I want to do is I want to color the candles. And I want the candles to have this pretty ivory color. It just gives them a nice yellow look. And all you want to do with these candles is just get some color on them. It's very, very easy just to get color down on those candles. Let's do this one. Hopefully that's dried. Something like that. You want them both to be the same. And now we're going to take our white shaded spruce, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to hit on these leaves. And where these little sprigs are at, I'm just going to color up on those like that. And then I'm going to take my real red, and this is the dark, and I'm going to hit those holly berries. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and hit them on the other one as well. And for my flame, I'm going to take a little bit of Calypso Coral. And I'm just going to go like that in the middle. I'm going to grab my Lemon Lolly. And just go back over that, kind of blending that color to make it look like a flame. Now we're going to come back in again with that light shaded spruce, and we'll do the leaves on this one. And that is how simple these are to do. Now, I do like to come back in with the dark shaded spruce and just kind of line just a little bit, just to give those leaves a little bit extra definition. Like that. And those are done and ready to be cut. We got to do our bow too. So let's take our real red, the light, and we are going to just color. I'm going to take my dark. All right, we are done with the coloring. So now we can go ahead and die cut these. And I'm going to use my small die cut machine, the little mini. And we're going to grab our plates and our dies. Of course, we do need the dies in order to cut this. There's the one that we need for our candles, and this one for our bow. So I'm going to line these up. Once I get them lined up the way I want them, I'm going to put this across there like that. Sometimes the lining up can be the hardest part. But once you get it, make sure you put it down on there. And I'm going to try to pass these two through at the same time. I got both of these cut. I'm going to lay them over here. And we need to do it one more time on our candles. So now we have both of our candles and we have our bow. So we are finished with our die cutting. So now the fun part, we get to put the card together. I do need to cut my strip off of this, and it is going to be 7/8, so almost an inch, but not quite. And we need it to be by 4. So there's our strip. And now we are ready to put this card together. I do need my scoring board or the Simply Score scoring tool. And I'm going to bring that out. I'm going to put this in on the 8.5-inch side. And I'm going to come to 4 1/4 and give it a good score. I love the scoreboard because it has a compartment up here for your little pieces that you can use to mark your spaces. I very seldom use them, but they're nice if you're doing something repetitious. It has the same, and they look like this. And what they do is, like I always do, a 4 1/4. I can put that there and I don't have to really look for it. It just kind of points it for me. And then the other thing I like about it is the stylus has a place for it and it just snaps in there. And that way you've always got your stylus with your scoreboard. This is the Stamping Up Simply Scored scoring tool. I love it. All right, so we've got our card base. We do need to give it a burnish, so I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to crease it down really good on both sides. And then we're ready to start building this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece down first. And I am doing those 1/16 of an inch frame. So you have to really be careful, but see how that frames and it really brings out the red in your piece of designer series paper. So I am going to grab my liquid glue and I'm going to turn this over, and the other side's beautiful too. And I'm going to just swirl a little glue around. Like so. And then let's lay this down. Give it a press. Very good. Now we can take our little piece of stripe, and you want it to come down to the bottom of your designer series paper, so it looks like it's kind of all together. So for this, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little glue, and this paper here is from the same pack, the Sentimental Christmas. I'm going to set that down right across the bottom. That's going to give us a ledge to sit our candles on. So I want the candles to be together like this. And to put those together, I'm just going to do a little glue right on that leaf. And then I'm going to sit this one on top of that one. Make sure your candles are nice and straight so that they'll both be looking like it's one set of candles. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to turn those over because I want to put some dimensionals on the back of my candles. So I'm going to put one right there and one right here. If you got some minis, you can do some minis at the top, like here and here. Just pull those backers off, and then we can go ahead and get our candles put in place. I want the candles to be right about there. And then my little bow, I want it to be hanging off like that. Isn't that cute? And for this, I'm just going to put a little glue right here on the back and then sit it like that. Now what we need to do is stamp our sentiment. And I did, they have a very Merry Christmas. And I did it in red, but I think I'm going to do it a little different this time. I'm going to stamp it in black. And I'm going to choose the VersaFine rather than the Memento. I want a nice dark image because this could have done to be a little bit darker, I think. That's why I do a prototype, because then I can change whatever I need to change for my permanent card. So I'm going to ink this up. And then right about here, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. That is so pretty. And it really pops a lot better than it does on the other card, or at least in my opinion it does. Let me set my stamps over there. Now we're ready to put this on here. We do have some embellishments to do. If you noticed, I made this beautiful bow, and this is the Sentimental Christmas Suite. The entire collection has this ribbon. Now you can buy the ribbon separate, and I will have everything listed on the PDF tutorial. But I tied a simple little loop bow out of that ribbon, and we're going to put that bow right about there. But I do need to trim these tails a little bit, so I'm going to trim that off there and that off there. And we're going to stick our bow right about there. So pretty. And I'm going to use a couple of glue dots to put my bow down. So peel that back. Pick up a glue dot. I might do two, just to make sure we have enough of adhesive to hold our bow. So pretty. I love this ribbon. It is so easy to work with. And it makes such a beautiful bow. All right, so the only thing left to do is to put this together on a card, stamp a sentiment inside. And I think for my inside, I'm going to use everything off of this stamp set, wishing you joy and happiness. And that can be in, uh, I'm going to do it in black. I love that. So pretty. So now we can put glue on the back of this and put it on the front of our card. Remember, we're still dealing with those tiny borders. So be careful when you put your border, you put it down, that you get your borders nice and straight. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we're going to do the same thing inside. We're going to pop that in. Give it a good press. And that is our card. How easy was that? Now, I do want to throw some embellishments on it. And I'm going to use these Drewski. I think that's the way you say it. They're gorgeous. They come in silver and gold. And I'm going to use the gold ones on here because I think they play better with the muted colors. So I'm going to grab my take your pick. And I'm going to grab a small one. We're going to put a small one right there. And a small one right here. And I'm going to grab one of the larger ones and put it right here. I want it over this way a little bit. And there is our card. Isn't that beautiful? And so, so simple. And like I said, we allowed the paper to do most of the work with using this strip here. Having our candles to have a place to sit was crucial. And then putting this lovely bow on it. And I think I do like the Merry Christmas in the black over the red. But you let me know which one you like. I think they're both beautiful. I think I like my bow better on this one. It's a little puffier. And I think we could probably puff it up a little bit by just going in the loops. There we go. Equally beautiful. I love it. I hope you do. Thank you so much for watching today. And I hope that this would inspire you to make some pretty cards, letting the paper do the work. And I love you guys so much. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for always coming out, for leaving wonderful comments, for sharing my video. This really does help my channel grow, and you are appreciated more than words could ever express. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. Until next time, be blessed. Bye.